Good evening. Welcome to the Monday, October 27th, 2025 meeting of the Kingston City Land Bank's Board of Directors. My name is Mike. I serve as the meeting's moderator. We do ask that members of the public limit their comments to no more than 2 minutes per speaker. And with that, I turn the meeting over to the board chair, Mr. Nate Hannigan.
Thanks, Mike. We'll start as usual with our roll call. To my right.
Barbara, board member.
Ethel, board member. Aaron, board member. Nate, board member. Going to Zoom. Paul.
All board member.
Sarah,
Sarah?
board member.
Great. And with that, I guess we have a quorum. Not that we're voting on anything. But we have so I'll entertain a motion to vote to accept the prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube and approve the current meeting agenda.
Motion to approve prior meeting minutes as uploaded to YouTube and approve the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. On to board chair announcements. I'll keep it brief today. Just want to say first, welcome back for good to see everybody. I have been off for a little bit, so good to see everybody. Hope you all had a great summer and all so far. The marketing campaign for the last 2 houses in the Keystone project was great. It was getting a lot of buzz and local press. We get a lot of applications. I know Rucka's working through those applications now. For anyone who is watching this live on YouTube or here in the room or watching on YouTube later, who submitted an application, please make sure that you look out for Rupco following up on that application and get back to them to complete it. It's really important that you do that in order to make sure you've gone through the whole process so that you're potentially eligible when we get to the lottery, which we will hopefully be holding either next month or the month after. And that's it for me. So with that, we'll go to our public comment period. We actually have members of the public today. If anybody has any public comments they'd like to share, welcome.
Public comments?
I think we just asked them to keep to 2 minutes.
We did have some comments, but not sure when that's meant to fold into your overall meeting, and we don't want to.
Oh, this is actually the public comment period of our meeting, so you're.
And we can
So-
address our concerns.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So we just ask that you say your name and then just keep your comments to 2 minutes. I'll give you like a
Josh
we've got
Vogel.
30 seconds left.
Kelly Zanetta, we're the occupants of 57 Teller Street, which is the property next to
43
I think the
under.
43. And we wanted to come and appeal to you, maybe as a board or publicly, to not develop that property. And we wanted to take just a couple of minutes to try to save that little strip and maybe ask you guys questions about why it was so important to develop that one. But
We're also long term, we've had a business in Kingston for 16 years. So we see very clearly the affordable housing crisis because as an employer, it's difficult for us to keep employees. We're a handmade business. So for 16 years, we train people in and out, in and out. We run a business and we're not strangers to our wage versus the community and what it can afford. So when this parcel came, available, well, we contacted the owner for back tax. before the land bank got involved. Then we were offered, to make an offer of $20,000 for a tiny parcel. It just didn't feel like a smart move for us financially, based on our own land value. And we did have an offer that we wanted to make, but we never heard back from anyone here. So we're here now to address our concerns about developing a lot in between commercial buildings.
And I think from a parcel view, just taking a look at it, it looks like a sweet little spot, but there's already an encroachment from our building onto the lot. I mean, it's like right on the property line. So any development on the lot is going to be subject to kind of these already weird existing conditions. And the development seems like it would be impossibly small on that little strip. So in the past, I think I asked Mike about what the plan was even to develop it. And I'm not sure exactly what you guys have in mind, but we thought it was important to come and just try to say again, we would be really happy to put this back on the tax roll. And our object isn't to do anything with it. It's to keep it as a buffer in our little neighborhood between our industrial property and the neighborhood that exists there. There's several other industrial properties. There's also a dump lot behind the proposed building. So it's not really even that great of a place when you look around and see the other properties. So again, we just wanted to come publicly say, I don't agree with developing that lot and willing to pay for the property, but like to be consummate to the value of the property around. And that, I think, that's what we came to say.
Thank you so much for your comments. We'll be here, if you want to chat with us after the meeting, or, you can always email me or Mike, chair@kclb.org. Happy to chat, some other time after our meeting, but appreciate you coming in, expressing the comments during our public. It's rare we have anyone speaking during our public comment period, so appreciate you taking time out of your day to come speak. Any other public comments?
Did you want to say anything else?
No, I think that's fine. I think for now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Okay, great. Well then, with that, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda, the executive director report.
Great. All right. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As usual, I'll try to keep it rather brief and focus on the pipeline, the potential non-coms funding, and then my other category, which is always my catch-all for everything. So our pipeline numbers have not changed from last month. These are the number of properties that we potentially could be moving into our active development. This includes Reso 66 of 2023 for the vacant lot at 24 Belmont. We are continuing to investigate what that could look like. That is still unfortunately becoming more and more of a done. So there are new basketball remnants of a backboard and some other things that have been thrown there. It's pretty overgrown. It was hard to get a look at. I know last month I had said we would look at it more closely for cross-mod. It's too overgrown to get a topographical map right now. We do have a survey, but we can't really know the topo. So I don't think it's a fit right now for cross-mod. It doesn't mean that it's not forever, but we need to get a look at what the topography looks like to be able to meet the requirements for that program. Similarly, Under the city's disposition policy, we've been offered no properties this month under Article 19A, but we do have judicial ruling dates of the 29th of last month, which would make you think that we would have a response by now. That's not the case, unfortunately. 2 more responses due this Friday, and then another one on November 24th. So possibly some updates. We're hopeful, as always, that something will come from that. Similarly, no offerings under Article 11. So, well, good news on the potential new comms funding is that we have been awarded through HCR's HTFC board, and the resolution is in your board package. Another $2 million in LBI Phase 2 funding. It's great. It's through open round. We continue to be, I think, the largest awardee of that funding source. This is, my update will be that we hope to be in contract soon. We're still working on what the details of that look like. It could be either an amendment to our existing contract or a new contract. I think it will be an amendment to the existing, which will allow us to use a portion of it under the Homes for Working Families section of the state budget, which means we can use it for pre-development, and a portion of it for hard costs, which is great. So more to come on that next month. In my other category, wanted to note that for those who are interested, and I was specifically maybe thinking of Rebecca, who's unfortunately not here, but I know she'll watch this on YouTube the moment it goes live. There's a draft document about the difference between modular and manufactured housing. I feel like it's somewhat helpful to describe those 2 terms, and it's an evolving document. So if I get an updated version, I will circulate that. Similarly, in the you may be interested category, the Land Bank Association's Education Committee is considering offering a land bank certification, which would be in concert with the National Land Bank Network and the Center for Community Progress, which is also kind of like a partner association of the Land Bank Association. So it's interesting. It might be something that could be a continuing education piece for board members, I thought. So for what it's worth, that's in your board package. And still putting a placeholder and going to our modular providers factory possibly in the coming weeks and or months. So more to come on that, but no updates. All right. Thank you. That's my update.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, moving on to our committee reports. So ABC committee.
So as always, I will mostly pass it on to staff, but I will take the credit in my introduction. So first, Keystone, the financing, which is, I think, just about complete, near completion, and then sales and marketing. Kyle, I'll hand it off to you.
Thanks, Aaron. Okay, here's the latest financing summary. As Aaron said, is mentioning it's the end of this project, or near the end of this, just down to final expenses like the pertaining to the sales and marketing campaign. So yeah, we are under budget, which is good to see. Nearly wrapped up on our LBI spending. We've finished the ARPA spending. This $24,000 balance was reallocated to another project, so to the demo at 46 grand. So we're done with that. But yeah, just some minor expenses as we look to close out the project there. So won't be reporting on this hopefully too many more times in the future. Can I answer any questions about the financing?
With one noting just that, because Kyle mentioned the ARPA funding, that because that 24,000 was reallocated to use, I believe, the demolition grant, that grant with the city is closed out now. We've spent it, and that grant is 100% allocated and used.
Correct.
And so what remains is some NOVA money, that will reallocate to a future project.
Correct.
Otherwise, Chapel, everything is done, which is phenomenal.
Yep. Just aside from closing expenses.
Yeah, yeah, and mowing the lawn. That's great. Anybody have questions looking at these top numbers?
Good, thanks, Kyle.
Cool. On sales and marketing, Mike and I have been meeting with Rupco. We closed up the marketing session uh, on October 3rd, and we have the deadline to submit currently applications through Rupco of November 3rd. So we are hoping to get a minimum of 6 applicants through this process. We've gotten a few so far, and hoping that more come in as we approach the final deadline there. But yeah, goals for 6 applicants, and we have some solid leads so far, but yeah, hoping to get there by the time the window that we proposed is over.
6 total, Kyle, or per house?
6 total would be our goal.
3 per house, so we have essentially enough such that if people couldn't close, you have 2 backups per house.
Yeah.
Although, I guess the worst case is 0 have, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I know we've talked about it a little bit offline, but is there any clarity from Rocco on like why
What's the deal?
there aren't higher numbers given the number of applicants?
No. We meet with them weekly.
People not responding.
That's the technical reason. If we haven't drilled in further. There was a comment that was made a week ago because we have a standing meeting with the homeownership counselor. And it was that maybe people don't believe that the price is so low, like they don't believe it's true. Which is how can you win? You know, we offer a home for $149,000, and so I don't believe that that's it, but I don't know what it is. So we're working on that. We've asked them to extend their application deadline so that we can get to that number of 6, which historically is a conservative number because folks do drop out or have life changes, and so no updates beyond that request. So.
Okay. So you guys will let us know then if we're gonna if we're gonna push the
Unfortunately.
the draw off.
Yeah, I will let you know as soon as we will let you know.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, thank you both. Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll get that.
I will congratulate you guys. Yeah, on that program. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so then, Mike, pass off to you to
Yep.
talk us through, home.
Cool. So new home program updates on architecture, engineering, and design, which are kind of lumped together. We have a set of plans called an SOW, so like a full set of plans, and that's gone off to HCR and our structural engineer who's working on the foundation piece. So that's a good update from last month when we were still trying to finalize that piece. This will turn into rapidly an RFP for general contracting services. More to come on that, but my intent is before this next meeting that would be awarded, because we've recently discovered that we have some time constraints on getting permits pulled this year. That would be ideal. Not necessary, but ideal. So more to come on that. We'll let you know some big updates when we have them, but right now we've pushed everything out, waiting to hear back soon.
I guess that's every today. That's one question about the general contract.
Yeah, sure.
Is it still your understanding, I remember this last time we talked about it, that the way the modular company works is we essentially would want to work with one of their like preferential contractors kind of thing, that like knows how to work with them?
They have
Or can we go out a butter? I mean, I don't think anybody can apply, but like.
I think that's true.
Okay.
I think that's true. I think the reason that has made more and more sense to me over time that a modular company doesn't want to work with an unknown
Yeah,
general contractor is because the coordination is so important.
yeah,
And so they do have a preferred list, and I don't think it takes a lot to get on a preferred list to work with them.
okay.
Proximity is probably part of it because they work throughout the state, or maybe they work in Texas. I don't know. So that is the case. You have to be one of their preferred GCs.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'm glad you understand that.
I mean, I don't understand it, but I have to make some, I mean, what you just said makes sense. Okay, I'll pass it back to.
Then moving on to our next committee report, the Finance and Audit Committee.
Sarah.
I think Sarah was
Hello.
stepping in.
Yes, sorry I'm not there, but I will do my best Becca impression. So just a quick report. We have a notable increase in interest income, and that's from the placement of our new CDs, which is great. There was no LBI requisition submitted in September. because we needed to finalize the pay applications for Maida, and that's reflected in the no account receivable or grant income this month. But we are preparing an LBI submission this week, which will be about 180,000, and that will enable us to pay current liabilities. As per usual, with Stacy's great work, all expenses are in line with the approved budget. And Stacy is currently updating the records to reflect the closeout of the Novo 9 grant, which is the general operating grant. And we're in an excellent cash position as we look towards new construction activity. And that's the treasurer's report.
Great. Any questions from the group? No?
It's worth noting once again that the fixed asset values of the homes we're about to sell are extraordinary for the price of that sell.
Great.
Yes, very true.
$600,000 and
We offer it too cheap, nobody believes us.
And that asset value, maybe this is a question for Stacy, that asset value, when we do the asset value of the homes, is that based on what we purchased them for plus the cost of construction? Or how do we come up with that number?
What number, what net asset value are you talking about in the financials?
Fixed assets, like the values of 48 has about 52 grand. We just say like the 635,000, 629,000, those two numbers, those are just he's just clarifying, but that's actually just the amount we've invested, right? Overall, like the actual hard costs, soft costs, and cost to acquire. Yeah.
Right, so there's certain rules within the tax law where that determines what we can record as basis and what we record as an expense. So all the things in there, for instance, there's, the hard costs and let's see what else would be in there. Architects, there's a lot of different components that go into it, but we did have other costs for those houses, like insurance and maintenance, that does not go into that value. So it's not the total cost of that home to us. Does that
Right.
make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think my question was basically like, that number reflects basically costs that we put into the house. It's not based off of like an assessment or something like that.
No, we don't, we don't keep the books like that.
Okay,
We keep it based on cost, not for fair market value. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions on the finance report? No. Then I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report as reported by our interim treasurer, Sarah.
Motion to accept the treasurer's report as Sarah presented.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Bringing quickly on to the comms committee report.
Okay, so we'll start with our social media consultant contract. Chris has been hard at work. He just sent us the first draft of our strategy document for social media strategy. I have circulated that just this evening to the committee members. Our goal is, take some time to review it in the next week to 10 days, gather our questions and comments, with the hopes that we can invite him to our November committee meeting and then present it, the final version to the board meeting in November. So yeah, he's also been working on draft social media posts. The next ones he has coming up are the milestone of us closing out our ARPA contract early with some before and after images of the 6 homes that the funds went to, and then there will be like an accompanying story for that, and also it's gonna start like post on like features of the house, which actually show like more photos of the finished like rehab, so people can see like the great quality of these homes. And then for November newsletter, I think we said we're gonna focus on having him be like the importance of affordable home ownership with like a fundraising call, given November is end of the year is a big time for like charitable giving. A lot of people. And in that respect, we discussed as a committee, like bringing back to the board to get feedback on having KCLB purchaser profiles in our external communications. We know we've like veered away from that in the past. There have been some concerns, but I believe like one of his recommendations is, you know, something that every nonprofit organization does, especially like, you know, schools, housing, anything like that, where there's, you know, if somebody willingly and totally like no pressure opts in and, you know, we don't reveal addresses or last names or something, like to get like a testimonial or like a voice recording or something, just to help humanize our like external communications and really amp up our fundraising efforts. So wanted to see like, do we have strong feelings one way or the other? Is anyone super against it? As a committee, I think we were ready to go forward to kind of like put a survey out to our past purchasers to see if anybody is interested and willing to participate in like a profile that we can then put in our newsletter, or even just like for our social media, like stories, just like the land bank, like opportunity has been like a great for our family and been able to stay in the community that we love and follow on. So wanted to raise that here. I know Sarah and Paul were on Zoom or on the committee meeting, and they felt the same, you know, with me, that we should start like asking if people want to be part of this. But I know Ethel and Nate, you're on the committee, but you weren't able to join. So if you have feelings one way or another.
I mean, I'll start unless you guys want to a little bit. I think it's great. I think it's just a matter of like how we message that to the purchasers, because I would want to be very sensitive to them feeling like there's any kind of pressure to do this. And maybe it's as simple as like, you know, if we did it as sort of like a broad survey rather than like a one-on-one communication, like if we sent it out sort of like a BCC email or something to all the purchasers rather than like a dear so-and-so, like it would feel very like directed and maybe a little more pressure if it's one-on-one versus like, we're sending this to all of the purchasers of the homes, like.
Yeah, I think it was like a great way to start it, like open and like nobody knows who's copied on it. We
Right.
just send it to our list of for like homeowners, and we just say, hey, like as we're reviewing like all the work we've done and where we want to go in the future, like we love to see, like we're putting out the survey to see if anybody is interested in providing, you know, a profile for like comments that we could use in our public external communications. Please take the time to start like take the survey and indicate if you're interested or not interested. We can keep you on our mailing list for this purpose. Or remove you, like we won't reach out again and just say no.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe, and if that's like a concern, like the committee I can put like a draft email and like Google survey or something together and circulate it like to the wider board members and take.
I mean, I trust the committee to handle it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it has to go to the full board to vote on, but that was just my initial.
Okay.
And you actually already said what I was thinking too, is that like, I think it's great to like put together sort of an initial survey to send. So that it's like a little less open-ended. It's like, here's a questionnaire and like fill it out, no pressure, fill it out if you choose. And
Yeah, like, are you interested? Yes or no? If you are interested, like, are you, like, would you prefer just like a quote? Are you okay with like a photo? Are you okay with a video? Or
well, I'm even thinking like, cut out that extra step and put in the questionnaire, like, if you are willing to, like, how has this process changed your, like, how has this experience changed your life? You know, like ask those questions up front, so at least we get some initial responses, and then have the last one be something like, you know, are you open to like talk to us further?
Follow up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway, sorry, I thought you may have cut you off.
That's okay, that's okay. I think more people would want to do that. And it'd be an encouragement for us to do it. And I just got a grant, and they asked me the same thing, and they put the questions in there, so there's no pressure.
Mhm.
And once I started, then they.
You have a sample of this then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It was still there, yeah.
Oh,
I gotta give it to,
Excited, congrats.
insulate my home.
That's
And they sent it, said, would you like to do it? I took a picture for Facebook. And, so people want.
Yeah, I feel like if there's a positive experience, people are more willing to speak on it, or if it's super negative, which we would want to know too, I guess.
And they did ask that also.
Yeah.
What can we do different?
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, great. So, another opportunity that we've.
Sorry, Barbara, before you go on to the next item on the list, could I go back to the social media consultant? Is there a way to get any kind of like, now that Chris has been working for a little bit,
Yeah.
any kind of like reporting on like the kind of engagement we're seeing?
Yes, I completely forgot. It's attached to the board package,
Oh, it
but
is.
he did submit the traffic report for the efforts we did for the remaining 2 Keystone homes in terms of performance on like Facebook, Instagram, and like MailChimp newsletter.
Okay,
So
shows how closely I looked at.
Yes. but I forgot to read that he did put that together, and we had a lot of great like engagement on Facebook, more than
Interesting.
the other platforms. So like we should probably zoom in on Facebook.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, get that for more details.
so. Sorry, go on.
Okay, okay. The next opportunity that came up for the comms committee and community engagement is, because we find like we own the home, it's not yet sold, it's all renovated, no construction on them anymore. Do we want to feature one of our homes on the Junior League's Holly Berry Trail this December, which is a fundraising event for them? Basically, they put together a like Christmas home tour in the community of like 6 to 7 homes, people who have their homes really like decorated and whatever. They sell tickets to, and people go from home to home to home, so like walk in and see them. And we thought it could be a great chance to like show our like final product of like what our rehabbed homes look like. And we discussed that like Grand Street would be a good one. Paul has like volunteered to help take the lead on some decorations. Mike can drop off like the materials of what we typically use at like our ribbon cutting and like what we had at the farmer's market. And like I could be there all day. And if there's another board member or two who could come out, it's like 4 or 5 hours for the day. It's a Saturday. And you know, we can like give a tour of the home and talk about the land bank and but I just need to get the Junior League a response because they're working like finalizing everything on their journal. So if we want to go forward, I gotta let them know, and then we'll present like a photo of the home and a little write-up for their journal. And then, yeah, we would be on the tour.
When is it again?
Saturday, December 6th.
I see no reason not to do it and see how it goes.
Yeah, and a lot of people who have grown up in Ulster County participate in this, and there's so much like curiosity about the work that we do, I think, like especially among people who've grown up here. So they can like see what it looks like at the end of the day.
Would you mind, when it's confirmed, would you mind sending like a calendar bowl for that afternoon?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I will let them know. Paul, are you still good to help me with decorating?
Yes, of course.
We need his design.
And I was wondering if we have maybe like some before shots too of just because I was looking at our Instagram the other day and saw the before of the exterior of Grand and about fainted, and then because I forgot how horrible it looked.
I'll see what we have, Paul. This is Mike.
Okay.
And you were the designer of record on those homes, so.
Yeah.
I should be able to provide those to you.
Okay. And I'd be happy to print out like some before pictures just so people can see
Okay.
what it looked like.
All right, that's exciting. I think it will be a great way to like merge like our work with, you know, a larger community event and put our names with like other organizations, and even just to be in the journal is good because all these businesses, like people flip through it because they all donate to have their ads in it, and they want to make sure their ad is like, you know, printed well and like prominent or whatever. So at least they'll flip to our page. Yeah, and then the last topic I had was our holiday party. So, the day Rebecca was available to like join our committee meeting, I wasn't available, so we've only like been communicating via email. We have the option, if we want to move forward with Rebecca French's location, what was the name of that place called?
Upstate Table.
Upstate Table, the same venue we had the party last year. She's booked on the Fridays in December, but she does have Thursday, December 11th available. And if that doesn't work for people and we don't want to do that, we still have the opportunity to use like Grand Street or something. And do it there. We have to make a decision. I'm totally for the Upstate Table. It seems like Rebecca like had a pretty comprehensive, like easy list of things to like check off and what needs. She said she would take care of ordering the food, and I think to the extent like our board members are available like that day to pick things up. Nate, if we go that route, you need to get an inventory view on the wine
Oh, that's so magnificent.
and any other materials that we have.
It's been aging. Yeah.
Yeah. So just Thursday, December 11th at Upstate Table Board.
Sure.
I'm gonna book it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
So Mike will book it, and then I will work with Rebecca to finalize whatever assistance she needs from our committee. Fortunately, I won't be able to attend on a Thursday since I'm in Kingston on Thursdays, but whatever I can do, like making calls, emails, dropping things off, picking things up on the weekends before.
So why don't we choose another day?
Because Rebecca French doesn't have availability on other days.
We have to do it at.
We can.
It's totally cool. I'm totally good. I think Thursday, December 11th, Mike, please book. At the state table.
You got it.
And that's it on our community engagement communications. and stuff.
Sorry, just because it's in that email to book it, do we want to book her dishwasher and cutlery thing? I don't think we need to. I think we can buy things. She said, please book it and then tell me if you want to book.
Do you remember last year if we used?
We did.
Okay,
That's
then
where we got all the stuff.
yeah, whatever we did last year.
Actually, probably honestly.
Oh, you have?
No, I'm saying I
wouldn't work.
I have like several hundred plates and fork sets that I think
You're donating to the library.
I think
Great, wonderful.
Great.
So I'll get, please,
Yeah.
Nate, Aaron, I'll be in touch to
Yeah,
collect the
that's-
list of
yeah.
inventory of available
Yeah.
resources from you both.
Yeah, well, it's still there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a promise.
You haven't joined me in years.
So that's it for this committee.
Great.
Back to
And
Paul's covered.
governance. No governance in the, I thought of anything to report.
No, I don't know. We got in contact with Nicole and I asked last.
Okay, yeah, I think Joanna was working on that, right? Yeah, so TBD on governance.
It sounded like Joanna did reach out to her and she grabbed it or no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Was that an email?
It was in an email.
I got it.
You did not. It went to Nicole and then she wrote back and said. But she hasn't been appointed. She hasn't been requested to be appointed, so it is an interim update. We're still.
Okay. Oh, so that's the next step on our, and someone from our governance needs to reach out to the mayor. Request the appointment. Okay.
And there was I saw a letter that you sent. That's it. Yeah, that's.
That's from last year. So
Yeah.
hopefully that goes out this week. Next week.
Cool. So she could be joining, could be here next month's board meeting.
I think
She-
possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, great. It could be, not to speak for the comms committee, but there was a cool idea to maybe make it about meeting board members or as like a thing. You know,
Cool.
if she can make it. So,
Okay. So we'll circle back with Joanna and possibly the mayor. Design also didn't meet, but Paul, I don't know if there's anything to report.
I don't think we have anything to report. I think last time we talked about Mike mentioned going to the warehouse or the facility where they build the modular homes. Mike, is there any update on that, or are we kind of just in a holding pattern?
no, I think it's safe to say we're in a holding pattern. We will go there. It might be cold. I don't know when. We just gotta get working on with them, and then I'll circulate some dates.
Okay.
When I have some.
And maybe it's after the new year.
Possibly. Sure.
Because I just think, I mean, we're approaching all the holidays.
Okay, next year.
You're fine. But we have factors, things like this.
Yeah.
Well, nothing else, Paul? Then.
Nope, that's it.
Cool. Then we have one additional public comment period, if any other 2-minute speakers want to say anything else. Going once, going twice. Okay, then with that, any new business from the board? Nice quick meeting, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn in the meeting.
Motion to adjourn to next board meeting.
I see. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye. That we are adjourned.